the number one cause of blindness among NFL officials is looking at Rams jerseys? Got to be, right?
Is rough night on the calls?
Well, they grabbed the face mask of a 6'3", 225-pound man, turned it backwards, took him off of his feet, and didn't call it. So yeah,
He didn't complain enough for me on it. I mean,
I
guess it's over. He whatever, but
you're talking about the coach of the quarterback,
Darnold.
Yeah.
I mean, when
I have no idea what he was thinking, but if it was me, I would be thinking that no way they missed that. They're going to call it, and then maybe he just wound down too quickly. I don't know. They almost broke the guy's neck. I know that, and somehow they all managed to miss it. And not only that, but
where's the guy in the God seat?
Glad you asked. Not a reviewable call. Not even from the God seat. Not a reviewable call. Okay. And I don't want to go back to that year after the Nola no call where we're reviewing every pass interference, but my goodness, I mean, we're watching it again here, and it's like, I mean, how do you miss that? Even the defender.
Yeah, the defender gave himself up.
He's got his he's got his hands at his head like, oh my God, what have I done?
Right.
Because he knows he's going to get flagged, except he didn't.
Yeah, he blew it.
Come
yeah.
That was what was uglier, that or Kyle McCord last night? McCord was pretty bad.
McCord did it over and over.
Yeah, that correct. The officials in Los Angeles missed
habitual
one.
pattern.
McCord missed 5, 3 of them returned for touchdowns. So much for my Syracuse pick last night.
I had Syracuse too.
Yeah,
I had Minnesota. It was rare that I was on such a public side, but I didn't think Nakua was playing.
Nobody did. They kept that very quiet.
I knew Cup was playing in the. We know that in McVay is getting a little testy, as far as the wording or of the reports. I mean, really, there's some things wrong. We address that with the individual, but it's more about, the language of it. No, y'all shopping Cup. I mean, and how old is Cup?
31.
Okay, so another declining receiver in his early 30s with Adams, Hopkins, and Cup. And one thing that they all have in common, none of them are none of them can get separation. I mean, watch all of them wherever they are. I mean, they got guys draped all over them. So it's been really it just he looks the worst though. He looks. He should not have been playing last night. Cooper Kupp. I mean, man, Charlie, he looks like he's 40-something years old all of a sudden.
Is it you talking about the hair, or are you talking about just the
no
routes?
the play?
Route?
No, we evaluate play.
Okay.
We're not cosmetics here.
Okay.
I mean, he is so. The injuries have taken its toll. Forget what he was, because he is a slow white guy. But the others, they can't get a whole lot of separate. Watch Hopkins, in the catch. Man, he's got guys all over him. I mean, those guys just aren't with it. None of them are getting separation anymore.
Kupp, I was going to give a little bit of slack. I didn't think he was quite as bad as what you're saying last night. I don't disagree that he can't get separation, but I think he was quite that. I was going to give him a little bit of a break because it first came back. But the question the Rams have to ask themselves is, do you want to shop him when you're in first place? Okay, you got a losing record and you're tied for first place, but you're in first place. So do you want to shop? He's a starting receiver for them. He's still a productive player. He's not the dominant player he once was. He's still a productive player. Do you really want to shop him?
Well, it may be him being rushed back. It contributes to my opinion on him. Maybe he's not 100%, but with that last night, he should not have been playing. I mean, that just wasn't. It wasn't good.
Game out of first place. I'm sorry. Seattle's got him. I had mistakenly believed that the 49ers were just in first place because that's where they should be. They're actually a game behind Seattle. But they're right there is what I'm saying. They're not out of it.
These declining receivers in their early 30s, and none of them are close to what they were in their prime. And none of them gets a whole lot of separation. I mean, there's no comparison. Last night, no comparison Nakua and Cup. I mean, none whatsoever.
Well,
So
at least in two of these situations, they don't have to be the number one guy. You know, Devontae Adams doesn't have to be the number one guy. That should be Garrett Wilson in New York. And Cup no longer has to be the number one guy if Nakua is on the field. Now, in Kansas City, it's a little bit different
you
because
still
they've got a bunch of people
regretting
hurt.
not picking the speed guy out of Texas?
It's everywhere.
I mean, I don't know fantasy. He can't be doing much in fantasy.
No, he's
not a touch guy.
He's right. He's a boomer bust guy. He's one of those guys that if you have him on your roster and you happen to play him in the right week when one of your guys is in a bye and he pops a touchdown, great. But he's not a guy you can play a lot.
I mean, the cornerback for Cincinnati gave us this accurate scouting report. I mean, he's a go guy. That's it.
Right.
And I mean, whenever they run, end arounds and things like that to him.
Yeah.
I mean, shovel passes, but
one of those guys you might pop him. If you pop him the right week, maybe he scores a touchdown. But he's not somebody you can play every week. No.
You're not regretting drafting.
No.
Okay.
No.
There are other guys. You came on here and man, I blew it. And this,
Kansas City sometimes.
Charlie,
they make you feel like that because you're like, oh God, why did I draft the guy in Kansas City playing with Mahomes? No, I drafted the other guy in Kansas City. I drafted Kelsey. I can always pick when guys are about to fall off the cliff in their offensive production.
He's hosting
That's the year
game
I picked
shows.
them. Yeah, he's very good at that. Hey, maybe he'll be in New Orleans this weekend. I hear the girlfriend's playing some arena down there, the big arena.
Tonight, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. 150,000 people over 3 nights.
Okay, is that what it was? I was thinking it was about 50,000. They could get
the way they configure her stage blocks off a certain amount of seats.
That's everybody.
So, but 50,000. She sold out 3, and she could have sold out 6. There was demand for a request for another 150,000 tickets. So she's popular.
Super Bowl puts 72 in there. Saints will be the second home team to win the Super Bowl on their home turf. Huh?
What year is that going to be?
This year.
No, it ain't.
Oh, man.
No, it ain't going to be.
We sat here and it's the black and gold Super Bowl, huh?
Well, you got a ticket somewhere that proves that you said that.
I do.
Yeah.
You want to buy it?
I don't.
Okay.
I think you should frame it though as a constant reminder.
Digital. It's digital.
Okay. I mean, take a picture on your phone.
Ticket.
We'll put it in a frame.
Yeah.
And we'll as a constant reminder not to
overreact after 2 games.
Yeah, on the Saints.
Saints were really good 2 games.
They were the champions of the league after 2 games.
I mean, what are we going to start looking at Pitt's schedule? We've been talking about Clemson, Miami, SMU, all undefeated. All are going to be favorite. The rest of the games, none of them play each other. Are we just slow to warm up because Pitt pulled a couple out the hat early in the year?
A couple out the hat. Well, the game is at SMU next week.
Okay.
Assuming SMU wins at Duke, which I think is a tricky spot.
SMU will be favored though.
Yeah, SMU is a double-digit favorite at Duke this week. I think they win, but I think it's a tricky game. But that's the
why.
Well,
did they watched Pitt last night?
Duke is 6-1. They probably shouldn't be, but they are. They're getting a bunch of points. I like them with the points. I don't necessarily like them to win the game. I think looking at the SMU look-ahead spot to Pitt now gets a little bit more magnified after last night, and Duke has found a way to win 6 out of 7 games. So I think it's a tricky spot. I think they win, but they've just been blasting everybody so much.
That is uncommon. A conference game, both teams are 6-1 and 11.5-point road favorite.
Yeah,
no, that is uncommon.
Yeah, and it's because I
don't.
And the reason why is I think you tell me. Not only has SMU covered every game since the quarterbacks changed, they have covered every game by double digits. Covered every game by double digits. So I think that line's inflated a little bit over what maybe it should be. That's just my take on.
Yeah, but when you cover him by that wide of a margin in the middle of the season that many times, I mean they got to push it up.
Right, and they did, and at some point there's a buyback. I think maybe that'll be tomorrow.
But I don't. That's a tough handicap there. That's a tough handicap because I respect SMU a lot better. Than Duke.
I've made some money.
They should be. I mean, they're double digits on the road.
I've made some money on SMU in the last month. Pitt still got Clemson, and then they finish at Louisville, at Boston College. It's back-to-back road games. Not that either one of them are world beaters. They got a ways to go.
And they play Clemson.
They play Clemson at home. But the 3 of the last 5
Clemson's going to go to Pitt. Well, that's their big one.
Yeah, Clemson's got to go to Pitt, and Virginia's playing better, and they got to play Virginia at home. So Pitt's look, all the credit in the world, 7-0. They got some hay to bail on the last 5 games. It's by no means easy for
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
What's up with McCord, man?
Oh, he had a bad. He didn't have a good game that Friday night game against
Yeah.
Stanford when they lost, but nothing like this. He threw a bad pick in that UNLV game, if you remember. It's tied. They had the lead. UNLV responds. It's a 2 touchdown lead, Syracuse, and then they responded. It's like second down inside the 15, and he throws a pick, a tie game with like 7 minutes to go. I mean, you can't. You can't do that. And it was to a linebacker as well.
Yeah.
The white linebacker is really good for UNLV. I think he's their team captain. I mean, he's a good player, but I mean, you just can't do that. He snapped back for him. They had to convert a 4th down where the ball carrier broke a tackle behind the line of scrimmage on 4th and short to keep their hopes alive, and then they went into overtime. But he not like this. He's never had anything like this.
We kept
like
looking
last night.
Yeah, we kept looking for a reason why Ohio State moved on from him, because we both thought, hey, you stuck with him all the year last year. You went through the growing pains. He's ready to step up. He looks the part. He's got the arm. He's got the body. He's got everything. But maybe they just felt like, you know what? We don't trust this guy in a big spot.
No, I still think in year 2 with the continuity. I mean, what would Joe Burrow's legacy be around here if he played 1 year in Baton Rouge?
Danny Etling?
No, not
So
that.
that 1
I
year?
mean, no, come on, man. I mean, is he not the most?
If he had gone to the draft after 18, it would have been
Charlie,
just
he's
another guy.
so much better than Etling. Even if 1 year. My point is, I mean, you went right past where I wanted to go.
Okay.
But he had a rough night. I mean, you're saying, oh, that's why we didn't play. Well,
No, you brought up 2 other examples. You brought up the Friday night game against Stanford. You brought up a big
It
spot
was
against
nothing like
UNLV.
this.
No. This
It
is
was-
the worst one, but that's 3 different spots in 3 different games where he's made big mistakes.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, Nussmeier makes big mistakes every game. Every game.
Yes, and he makes a lot of big plays with
Well,
it.
and McCorner's made a lot of big plays. And let's not compare the supporting cast. I mean, you think he's going to make these mistakes with Ohio State's supporting cast?
Well, that's the question. That's the question. What would Ohio State's record be if he were the
I
quarterback?
mean, what is
Probably the same.
Syracuse's record? 6-2.
Yeah. No, I like him. I'm just saying.
When Syracuse been 6-2?
Donovan McNabb.
I mean, he was horrible last night, but no, I'm not ready. That was all about if Michigan beat you 3 times in a row, you do after you beat them a dozen times in a row, they're panicking. I mean, Will Howard, you watch him last year? He was not good last year.
I can't argue with you on Howard because I can't tell you a single game that Ohio State won because of him this year. And if McCord was at Ohio State, their record may very well be the same thing that it is now.
You could say that. Why do we have this guy? He didn't even know how much damn time we got. No, you can't run it and get down. You got to get down immediately. I mean, no, you got to throw an out pattern. You can't.
They might have lost the game to Oregon anyway if McCord had been there. Now
they might have won it.
They might have won it. It was a head bob game.
I think that's result based. Commentary right now after last night. Oh yeah, and maybe some of them that maybe that's therapeutic for him. I think glad we passed on him, but I think that he's overall what was Syracuse? They're probably over their win total already.
Probably.
I mean, the coach got fired last year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because you don't get fired if you're great and everything's in place.
No, this is a new coach. He brought in 19 transfers. They've started 50 games for him. He's done a really nice job. They're doing well in recruiting, and this was the biggest get in the transfer portal for them. He said that was Fran Brown's words. Was thank you Ohio State for sending us this guy. It's a quote.
Yeah. I mean, he rough night last night. He took a back seat. He's not perfect, but I mean, what quarterbacks?
I'm not saying his career's over or anything.
Who's the most consistent quarterback in the country right now? Dylan Gabriel? Effective, good, consistent. I could go to picks. He was throwing some picks. He threw a couple of picks against Michigan State.
Oh, he had some. He had some turnover problems at the beginning of the year.
Tell me one guy. Everybody in the SEC, you don't know what you get play to play or game to game.
No. The most consistent quarterback with big plays probably been Cam Ward.
Was Milroe the same quarterback at Georgia in the Tennessee game?
No.
Beck tried to keep Texas in the game.
Probably Cam Ward. If I had to vote for an All-American quarterback right now,
No.
I'd probably vote for Cam Ward.
And when you look at Miami's personnel and their competition, I mean, it has been. I mean, they struggle with Cal and Virginia Tech.
Yeah,
but he is Cam Ward, and he's been the most consistent. A little bit schedule related. A little bit.
It would be a different game if they played Florida this weekend.
Like we bring up Milroe, he's playing against Tennessee and in Georgia. No, well, which Cam Ward's played, and anybody close to that? Cal, that's their toughest.
No, and like I said, it would be a different game if they played Florida now. Florida's playing much better now than they were playing. I don't understand that, because the way Miami beat Florida that day was just they up front. I mean, Ward he was just sitting back there, and then they just destroying him. And all of a sudden, Florida's putting up a fight up front. They're run blocking better, and that's the thing that I can't figure out. I mean, when you get pressure and you fine tune, you get some the passing game going, and the offensive line comes together as a unit and things like that. But Florida's battling. It might be over. It probably should be over. Okay, but they're one of the more improved teams in the country. Like I said, it'd be a much different game if they played Miami now.
With losing their quarterback. Yeah,
much different.
Come on over here to Ruffino's. Don't forget our specials today: lobster risotto, the creamy habanero rice with the lobster stock and chilled lobster salad, Italian sausage manicotti with marinara sauce, Italian cheese blend, and herb breadcrumbs. Entree features our fish today is a pan-seared halibut with the blister tomato, capellini marinara, and basil pesto. Suggested wine pairing, a Peugeot Chardonnay out of Napa. Blue cheese crusted filet with blue cheese, the blue cheese crusted filet with marchand de vin. You got that, Charlie? Goat cheese, mashed potatoes with the grilled asparagus. Suggested wine pairing is a Frank Family Chardonnay. Frank Family cab, of course. A cab with a steak out of Napa. And then the dessert feature. How about this? Praline crinkle cake with phyllo dough, toasted pecans, folded and baked in a custard, flaky, soft, and sweet. How about that? Lock of the week Friday here at Ruffino's, presented by Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments.
Live at lunch.
This season, get premium tech that inspires joy from Dell Technologies. Bring projects to life with the XPS 16. It delivers supercharged processing for enhanced productivity and freedom to express yourself. Performance-class Dell PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors deliver a dedicated engine to help accelerate AI. Enjoy free shipping, Dell rewards, and expert support. When you get a Dell PC with AI, it gives back. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies. First aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights. Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Yo, Jake and T-Bob here. We've been talking about the All-Star Toyota rentals for a while, so during vacation season, we wanted to remind you about them.
That's right. All-Star Toyota has daily, weekly, and monthly rentals with flexible plans and competitive rates that blow the other places out of the water. In fact, you can rent a new Toyota for as little as $60 a day. These rentals are perfect for out-of-town trips, for business, or pleasure.
All-Star Toyota, located on Airline at Goodwood. Check out their website at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com/rental. People you know, cars you trust. All-Star Toyota.
This is Charles Hanniger for Supreme Rice. We always ask you to support our Louisiana farmers. Well, Supreme Rice has a long history of working with those Louisiana farmers in developing and maintaining sustainable farming practices. And now their Climate Smart program supports farming practices that reduce methane emissions and support water conservation, positively impacting the longevity of rice farming for future generations. So the next time you shop for rice, make it Supreme Rice. For more information and great recipes, go to supremerice.com and look for the Climate Smart logo on Supreme Rice bags coming soon.
Your Fighting Tigers of LSU hit the road to face the Texas A&M Aggies Saturday. It all gets started with Eagle 98.1 Game Day with Charles Hannegreth and Matt Musso at 1:30 p.m. live from Rouse's on Burbank, and wraps up with the Eagle 98.1 Game Day postgame 90 minutes after the end of the game. Presented by Super Chevy, your local Super Chevy dealers, and you can hear it on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and your flagship home for the Tigers, Eagle 98.1.
1950, Phil's Oyster Bar started on Government Street. Then Gus Piazza took over in the 70s, and now his son Anthony has taken it to another level at the current location in South Downs. It's always been a Baton Rouge landmark. Seafood, oysters, po' boys, burgers, and more, all served up in an atmosphere full of sports nostalgia and tons of TVs to catch all the games. Seafood gumbo, crawfish cheesecake, or my favorite, the meatball quesadilla to start. Check out dinner and bar specials at philsoysterbar.com. You know we bleed purple and gold at Phil's Oyster Bar in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Get spectacular savings during the final days of truck season at Supreme Chevrolet in Gonzales and Supreme Chevrolet West in Plaquemine. Get big savings.
Chris is on. Thank you.
Payments for 90 days, but you must hurry as these spectacular savings end really soon. So together, let's drive to Supreme Chevrolet in Gonzales and Supreme Chevrolet West in Plaquemine, or online at supremechevy.com or supremechevroletwest.com.
When it comes to building and property inspections in Southeast Louisiana, go with the certified experts, Avid Inspection Specialists. From homes to businesses, or mold, lead, or asbestos inspections, they have the latest technology to give you peace of mind. Avid Inspection Specialists. Visit avidspecialists.com.
Hi, this is Jake and James of Trash Rangers of Louisiana. Have you voted yet? Vote for Trash Rangers, and we really will take the trash out. Go to trashrangers.com now.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
121-126-74. Offices in Baton Rouge.
It's Lock of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris of Edward Jones Investments. Now, back to Live at Lunch from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Remember, you can always get the show on demand, the new LouisianaSports.net, 1045ESPN.com. New Handycast up this week, a review of LSU and Arkansas. Richard Dixon is up. Handycast on YouTube.
All right, let's go out to San Diego, talk to Chris Macero, professional sports bettor, get his 5-pack this week. Chris, what's going on, brother?
How we doing, Jimmy? I was just listening to you do that ad for Frank's Family that reminded me of the time you kind of stormed and broke up our dinner at Barry's that night at Circa after the LSU USC game.
Wait a minute now. Look.
You came for the desserts.
When we were eating in what is the Asian wok place? It's really good in Circa. What's the name of that place? Jade East or something?
8 East, I believe.
8 East. Yeah, it's good, man. It's good. So, but yeah, we got to drink some nice wine. So when we go to Paris, so that's a cool spot. We got a great picture as well in that one. So I was just happy to ask my broadcast partner how his exit trip was leaving Allegiant Stadium.
Oh, I got on I-5 on a bicycle.
Hey, at least you had a bicycle with you. I was there for a Metallica concert, I want to say 2 years ago. And I was wearing cowboy boots for some unknown reason, and I ended up having to walk 1 mile left over two overpasses, and at that point you're just stuck. There's no one picking you up. So yeah, 2 miles in cowboy boots after a whole night of Metallica. So yeah. It's rough. There's no easy way out of there.
No, he was on one of those rickshaws. And, and the guy went, he gave him $100 to give him to Mandalay Bay to do post game. And next thing you know, he's on the damn interstate, went on the rickshaw.
A bicycle with a flashlight on the front, you know.
No, there were people that were they were upset. They lost the game. Then they were getting, the restrictions. They were knocking down barricades. It was a little rough.
Pedestrian only bridge. Those are the last words I remember before I started praying.
There you go. All right, Chris, let's get to it. Penn State will look ahead spot. They've got Ohio State. It's the whiteout game, but then they go to Wisconsin. And Wisconsin is improving as of late, but you're looking more. So you think that Wisconsin may have a shot in this look ahead spot. 6.5 right now.
Yeah, I like Wisconsin lean them, but I'm more interested in the total.
Okay.
It's going to be a cool cold, low 40s, high 30s, fall evening in Madison. Both of these teams want to run the ball. Penn State runs it 59% of the time. Wisconsin runs it 57% of the time. Both defenses highly ranked. Penn State, 8th in the country yards per play, 4.3. Wisconsin, 33rd, 5.0 yards per play defensively. I don't think neither Franklin nor Fickle are going to deviate from their game plan. They're going to run the ball. They're going to slow the clock down. And I think Wisconsin's going to try to get this game into the fourth quarter with a chance to win. So that's why I'm going under the total. I see some 48s, 47s and a half out there. And I think if Wisconsin can keep it close, and the only way they're not going to win a track meet, that's not their style of play. They're going to want to keep it close in the fourth. So I think on a cold, cool evening in Madison, the under is the way to go, 47.5, 48.
47.5. Remember last year, Wisconsin, Army, Navy, they were all modernizing their offenses. We're like, well, let's see how this is going to work. All right. Well, I think after they kind of reached a happy medium. Army, Navy are going back to option based. Okay. They're not going to. Then they got two guys that can actually throw the ball adequately. Okay, but still, they're option. In Wisconsin, don't you think, Chris? It kind of now they're happy medium. You know, man, you're not just going to have a bunch of skill guys that you can run four or five wides.
You need the players to actually implement that. That's what we talked about. San Diego State. They brought Deshaun Lewis over to coach, and he's this high prolific passing, run fast, hurry up offense. But if you don't have the personnel to do it, it just doesn't work. And the quarterback in Wisconsin right now, he's not a Cam Ward type or even a Milroe type or just someone that can run it fast and get out of the pocket. So I just think they're going to stick to the run game, go back to the old Wisconsin tradition, and hopefully this game goes under.
All right, Cincinnati is your next pick. What you looking at here in this one, Chris?
Well, Cincinnati goes out to Boulder to face Neon Dion. 80% of the bets are on the Buffaloes. The line opened 3.5. It's up to 6.5. I think that is a little extreme. I mean, this is the first time that Colorado is going to be laying points after 3 straight weeks of getting them, and up to 6.5 seems a bit rich for me. Cincinnati, 5-2, and they're 4 points away from being 7-0. They had a 27-6 lead with 4:52 to go in the third quarter versus Pittsburgh in week 2. They blew that lead unbelievably. Pittsburgh kicked the field goal with 20 seconds left to beat them 28-27. In week 5, they got tripped up by Texas Tech and Lubbock, 44-41. But they're coming off back-to-back wins over UCF and ASU, and I think Scott Satterfield has a slight coaching advantage over Deion Sanders. And I feel like 6.5 is too much for Colorado, a team that has had some big defensive lapses and some questionable coaching decisions by Deion and the staff. I'm going to ride with the Bearcats plus 6.5.
Yeah, but Charlie, Colorado, I mean, they're trending. It was supposed to be in right around 6.5 their win total. They're playing better a little bit this year, a little bit, certainly more consistent than last year.
Since they got
more complete, more balanced.
Since they got that miracle against Baylor, they went down and blew out UCF. They blew out Arizona last week. The game against Kansas State, they were trailing 2 scores in the fourth quarter, and they took the lead.
Yeah.
So they're playing much better than they were at the early part of September.
All right, let's go to Ole Miss and the Hottie Toddies. 20-point favorites over Oklahoma. Of course, this is a regularity for the runs to be 3 touchdowns over Oklahoma. Unbelievable. But, Chris, you're looking at the total, which at DraftKings, our friends over at the Queen, well, we'll be broadcasting Football Sunday this Sunday, 10 a.m. to noon. We're in town from the Borough, not at the Borough Vaj. We'll be at the Borough Vaj next weekend. But Ole Miss, Oklahoma total is at 49.
Yeah, 49. The run's off of a bye. So the defense has been fantastic all year, 10.6 points a game. And that includes the 13 points that you guys at LSU got in the last 30 seconds in the overtime and the miracle last-minute drive Kentucky got. So if you take that out, they're under 10 points per game defensively. And if you look at this Rebels team really should be 7-0. And I think Lane will tighten up that back-end defense. That was a little embarrassing how it ended in LSU. And you couldn't find a better opponent to tighten up your pass defense against than Oklahoma. 107th in points, 22.1 a game. If you go to SEC play, Oklahoma's only averaging 13.5 points a game. And that, and the 22.1 includes a 51-point effort week 1 versus Temple. I mean, that's so far out of the memory right now. This team is just saddled with so many injuries. All 5 of the top wide receivers are still either out or doubtful. You bring Jackson Arnold back into the fold, but he wasn't very impressive the first couple weeks of the season. I'm just not sure where the points come from in this game. I could see maybe they get 14 points, Oklahoma, and I think it's just going to be let's get the win. It can be a little impressive. They're not going to try to blow anyone out. You don't need to get anyone injured. Maybe a 31-10 type of game. I mean, Ole Miss has been great on defense all year. Oklahoma has been able to move the ball all year. I just see this game being a dead under.
All right.
Yeah, no, I love the pick because the one score, the touchdown they got against Tennessee was garbage. The touchdown they got against South Carolina, they were down 32-3. One of the touchdowns against Auburn was a pick six. I mean, every number you gave is horrible for their offense, and it's even worse. When you look at it, I mean, that's a really bad offense.
Man, it's funny.
Yeah, in SEC play, Oklahoma, and like you mentioned, some of that was pick sixes or garbage time touchdowns. It's only 13.5 points a game in SEC play. It's like, welcome to the SEC, Oklahoma. This isn't, you're not getting the Big 12 tomato can defenses like you had for the last few years.
Let me get this straight, okay? A team is referred to as the Runts, are 3 touchdown favorites of one of the biggest blue bloods, maybe a top 5 blue blood of all time. That blue blood just gave their coach an extension and a raise. Something's missing. Something is missing. Speaking about something,
we're in the wrong racket.
Charlie's a big proponent of the athletic directors just paying all this money not to coach. Michigan last year in East Lansing against Michigan State, they outscored them 14-0 in the first, 14-0 in the second, 14-0 in the third, 49-0, and now they're at home. And the defending champs are only 4.5 over Michigan State. Chris, prime time tomorrow night, 6:30 our time.
Yeah, I see this game as 2 teams going in opposite directions. Spotty off a nice win last week versus Iowa. Michigan off a disaster loss versus Illinois, 3 turnovers. Tuttle was sacked 5 times. Wolverines were shut out in the second half. I don't know what to make of this Michigan team. I mean, I don't see laying points with them, that's for sure. So I'm going to take the 5 points with 4.5 with Michigan State. Jonathan Smith, major coaching advantage. This team racked up 468 yards versus a really good Iowa defense and 5.48 yards per carry on the ground. So I think they're going to be able to run the ball a little bit against Michigan. And the key to the game for me is that Aiden Childs, the Michigan State quarterback, can protect the ball. He has been a little interception happy. They gave the game away against Boston College due to this. But their other 2 losses are to Ohio State and Oregon, nothing to sneeze about. So I think this Michigan State has got the team going in the right direction after a few years of futility. They're going to have that revenge on their mind, as you mentioned. So I'm going with Michigan State +5, 2 teams going in the opposite direction. And let's go Sparty.
All right. And then finally, Texas trying to rebound from the loss last week against Vandy, going to Vandy, laying 18 on the road against the Commodores.
You keep killing me with these hooks. 18.5. Come on.
I'm sorry. We're just going with our local book is putting right now. I'm sorry.
I'm kidding. Well, I got to go. If I'm from San Diego, I got to go with Diego Pavia, right?
Yes.
If you did a blind resume between Quinn Ewers and Diego Pavia and asked 90% of the people in the country, they'd have no idea. These stats are kind of insane. And I know Ewers best missed a couple games, but Ewers 68% completion percentage, 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 16 rushes for negative 30 yards and 1 touchdown. Diego 66.2 completion percentage, 1,391 yards, 11 touchdowns, only 1 interception. And this guy runs the ball, 118 carries, 470 yards, and 3 touchdowns. If you go on the ESPN rating, he's got 164 ratings to 148 for Ewers. So he's having a better year. I don't understand the spread at all. If you change the names of the uniforms, I don't see catching 3 scores for the Commodores. It's crazy to me. We talked about Texas' schedule all year. Who have they played? Is there a chance that this Texas team misses the playoffs? I mean, they're at Vandy. They got to at Arkansas in a couple of weeks, at A&M. I mean, what if Vandy somehow knocked them off? They already beat Bama. They already beat Kentucky. Georgia should have lost to Kentucky, and Texas blew the doors off. And Georgia blew the doors off Texas. I'm not saying Vandy's going to win this game, but I'm shocked that they're getting this many points when this team has played. If you look at the overall resume and schedule, I think Vanderbilt has played better than Texas has played this year. Might sound crazy.
We just talked about the SEC quarterbacks lacking consistency. This guy's been consistent. If you had a vote, would he be your first team All SEC quarterback?
Today he would. Yes. Today he would.
Me as well. Chris,
Pavia would be your vote.
Yeah, for a first team All SEC.
Yeah, no. Oh yeah, I mean, Vandy's 2 losses away from being 7-0. Touchdown with 15 seconds to Georgia State and an overtime loss to Missouri. If they're 7-0, what's the spread? I just think the spread is way out of whack. It's just the names on the front of the uniforms and the perception that Vandy is still old Vandy. It's a total different era. The NIL has changed everything. You got a really good quarterback who has a really good attitude. And he's a winner, and I don't see how you can give this team 3 scores at home, and especially Texas coming off that loss. I mean, it's not a big win, but it's almost like it's a letdown loss. Like, they were supposed to go undefeated. They were the talk of the town. They were number 1. And now they got to go on the road to face a really good team that some people aren't giving them due respect.
All right, Chris, we appreciate it. Good luck to you this weekend. We got to run, go to break, buddy. We'll talk to you next week. Good luck.
All right, sorry, Jimmy. Thanks a lot.
All right, don't forget our friends at United Community Bank, the local way to bank big with locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow, including their newest location at Burbank and Bluebonnet. Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Heath Meir, Prentice Wilkes, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, David Henry. Stop on by and see how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at Ruffino's Lock of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Why wait for the weekend? Twin Peaks is serving scratch food and pouring quality cocktails every day after dark. Come by the lodge and experience the best late night in the league. Today, tomorrow, or any other day of the week. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
Water is water, right? Not when it's Evermore. Smooth tasting Evermore water is Mother Nature's masterpiece. Evermore is natural artesian water. Maybe you want a healthier lifestyle, a high-end athlete who wants better hydration, or a parent who wants something healthier for their kids. You want Evermore. EVAMOR. Evermore. Available at great local retailers.
Dynamo Dogs, Swifty Swine Racing Pigs, and Washboard Willie every day at the Greater Baton Rouge State Fair at Breck Fairgrounds on Airline Highway. Saturday, it's the Lego Extravaganza at 2. GPRSF.com.
Attention, vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
Attention Tiger fans. The LSU Alumni Association is thrilled to introduce Football Fridays at the Cook. Join us at the Lord Cook Alumni Center for an exclusive game day prep experience. Mingle with Matt Moscona, Gordy Rush, and recruiting analyst Shay Dixon, and former LSU football stars. It's delicious food, refreshing drinks, and so much more. Don't miss out on the final Football Friday, November the 8th, as we preview the Alabama game. For more details and to sign up, visit lsualumni.org. Go Tigers!
Drive a Land Rover or a Porsche? Choose Vex European for expert service. Tired of waiting weeks to get your European card for basic maintenance? At Vex European, we have committed to basic service done the same day or the next day. Book today, get service tomorrow. Visit VexEuropean.com.
Discover a new standard of luxury at Genesis of Baton Rouge with valet and concierge services, all complimentary for 3 years or 36,000 miles. Luxury has a new address. At Genesis of Baton Rouge, we believe in innovative technology, uncompromised safety, and the luxury experience you deserve. Ready to elevate your drive? Visit genesisofbatonrouge.com and explore the...
Troy's on.
Wait, Genesis of Baton Rouge on Airline across from Woman's Hospital or genesisofbatonrouge.com.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Hi, this is Jake and James of Trash Rangers of Louisiana. If you switch your residential or commercial trash pickup to us, we promise to never sell your trash to the paparazzi. Seriously.
Jimmy, Charlie, and Troy. Three best buddies sitting around talking sports bets. Let's welcome in Troy Macker from Bet Rivers.
All right, Troy, let's get right into it, man. The 80% club in college football at Bet Rivers with the spread. Who are we looking at today?
Yeah, well, on spread tickets, there are 10 teams currently backed by at least 80%. And in terms of money, there are 17 teams currently backed by 80%. Now, some of those are late Saturday night games. That number's going to go down. So I'll give you the 5 teams that are currently backed by at least 80% of the money and 80% of the tickets. So there's kind of a unanimous decision, and there's 5 teams, and we'll start at the bottom. Miami, the Hurricanes minus 21 against Florida State. Florida State has been dreadful. 80% of the money, 84% of the tickets on the Hurricanes to cover 21. Memphis minus 17.5 versus Charlotte, another not great team. 85% of the money, 80% of the tickets. Kentucky minus 2.5 against Auburn. Another not very good team that is showing some flashes, but they just can't take care of the football. 90% of the money, 81% of the tickets. And then ULM, Louisiana Monroe, that was expected to be terrible this year. Their coach is in the running, I think, for National Coach of the Year. They're +7 at South Alabama. 97% of the money, 81% of the tickets. And then the heaviest favorite on money and tickets, Utah -4 at Houston. Houston has been dreadful. 97% of the money, 92% of the tickets. Right now, Utah's the only team with over 90% of the tickets backing them to cover.
Wow. I kind of like Houston there as well. But the coach, the first-year coach out of UL Monroe, he has been named as a finalist or semifinalist. He just got on that list.
Brian Vincent.
Yeah, for National Coach of the Year. So he's being recognized. And not just their win total, it was 2.5. And they've doubled that already.
He was the OC at New Mexico last year. Is that a fertile recruiting ground for coaches, New Mexico?
Well, I can tell you this: the AD at UL Monroe got a hell of a resume point here, because you go there with that budget, and this is one of those teams where they're talking about, well, man, you guys gonna, I don't know, split the 135 or so Division I teams in half. Okay, half are gonna go and play each other, and half are gonna do this and stuff like that. But I mean, they've been adding these teams like UL Monroe, and UL Monroe shouldn't be Division I. I'm sorry, they were a much better program as 1AA, much better program, one of the tops in the country.
The national champion in '87.
Yeah, beat Marshall, lost to Marshall in the final one year.
Stan Humphries.
Yes, yeah. So I mean, they were a much better team there. Troy, anything was all the money on Minnesota, the Vikings last night?
Oh yeah. I mean, it was a great start to the week for the sportsbook, considering the last 2 weeks have not gone in the sportsbook's favor. This ended up being the second biggest win of the year for the sportsbook. I believe the first one was either Eagles-Packers in Brazil, or there was one other game, but this was nearly a 7-figure win for the sportsbook. Before the game, right before kickoff, Vikings were well over 80% of the spread money and over 85% of the money line money. And on a Thursday night game, which is typically one of the 2 biggest handles of the week, them not going over there was huge for the sportsbook. Although, a lot of player props did cash. The over hit as well, but we took a sizable amount of money on the Vikings to win and cover, and that did not happen.
Well, now you get some of these matchups now with these lopsided. We're seeing extreme splits now for some of these NFL games this weekend.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. I mean, right now we got 2 games on money that are over 90% of the money on the teams to cover, and both of them are at least a touchdown. The Jets -7 at New England, which I don't love, currently 93.7% of the money, and Denver -10.5 against Carolina, which even though Denver's offense is slowly getting better, I don't have a lot of faith, but they're playing Carolina who stinks. 91% of the money there, and they're minus 10.5. Then you throw in Detroit minus 11.5 against Tennessee. They're the strongest spread play by tickets at 88%. Then you look at other ones. Baltimore minus 8 at Cleveland, 82% of the tickets.
Wow.
So we're talking 4 games that are at least a touchdown that are all over 80% on the money or the tickets to cover.
You mentioned the Lions, right? Yeah, okay. Because I'm sorry. I mean, because that's the one they followed up that high-profile win against Dallas, where they looked invincible by winning again as an underdog, actually at Minnesota, giving them their first loss of the season, of course. And who's betting Tennessee right now? Me, and that's about it. So I mean, it's
I'm my hands off that. So 12.5 may be the top spread in the league this year so far that I can remember.
It's up to 12.5 now.
12.5. Yeah.
Wow. All right, Troy. Anything? Any highlights or what we need to know about the UFC card tomorrow?
Yeah, so I don't have any plays on this. I think I have like a 3-leg money line parlay on some undercard fights that they're heavy favorites. But when you look at the main card, I'm going to sit back and enjoy this because there are 3 fights that could go either way. The main event, Ilia Topuria and Max Holloway, is going to be a banger for the featherweight or lightweight strap. Max Holloway has become probably the most fan favorite fighter in the UFC right now. He has the best style of fight for casual fans and mixed martial arts fans. He just throws punches. He stands in the pocket and will swing. He'll take punches. And in the co-main, you have Robert Whitaker, a.k.a. Bobby Knuckles, great nickname, taking on Khamzat Chimaev, who is a wrecking ball, who has been hot-shotted to the top of the middleweight division. Robert Whitaker, probably the second most fan-friendly fighter in the UFC. He will go out on this shield. This guy is kill or be killed. I can't bet on either of those guys. And because Holloway and Whitaker will go out in their shield and could pull off an upset victory, they're both, plus 220 and plus 210. I'm not betting on Chimaev or Topuria, and I'm not betting on Whitaker or Holloway, but they should be amazing fights. And then a little bit further down on the card, you have who is it? It's Alexander Rakic and Magomed Ankalaev, and that should be an excellent fight for people who like grappling at the light heavyweight division. This is a very good card, and the next UFC number pay-per-view is even better because John Jones is back. I've already placed significant money on John Jones, and that number has only gone shorter and shorter. I got him at minus 400 to beat Stipe Miocic in the main event at heavyweight, and he is now at minus 575. So if you're going to bet for the next UFC pay-per-view, you're probably going to want to pick, Jones to finish or the round specific because there's not a lot of value there. But John Jones is, in my estimation, the most guaranteed money in mixed martial arts. He's the greatest fighter, or he's the best, most talented fighter of all time. So there's a lot of good fights coming up in the next on Saturday and then 2 weeks later.
If you can't find enough to bet on right now, you're in the wrong spot. So you got all 4 major professional sports going. You got UFC right in the heart of it. You got the World Series. I mean, you've got a little bit of, you got boxing tomorrow, and next week we got 2 days of Breeders' Cup live from Del March. Follow Troy on Twitter at Troy Macker. That's Machir. Troy, thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you Monday.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right, don't forget, we were over at Jolie Pearl yesterday, and lots of things going on downtown this weekend. Of course, Live After 5, Chris LeBlanc Band, his group is performing the last of the season, the fall season, for Live After 5. Don't forget that we get to make Jolie Pearl your meeting place. You got music all through the weekend. We got a great event tonight at the Manship Theater. That's right, Red Cake Events in Mestizo Restaurant. Doing a special Metalachi. That's right, Metalachi, the world's first and only heavy metal mariachi band hailing from Los Angeles. They're performing tonight, and following the Metalachi performance, celebration will continue with a special screening of the cult classic Rocky Horror Picture Show. So general admission in VIP tickets, Mestizo's doing hors d'oeuvres and things like that. They are available at manshiptheater.com. That's manshiptheater.com. So check it out. Got a Metalachi show. You got a Metalachi. You got the Rocky Horror Picture Show. You got Live After 5. Make your meeting place also Jolie Pearl, historic landmark right downtown. And they've got a great bar, baked specialties. If you haven't seen it, go by and check it out. So a lot of things going on. Make your meeting place Jolie Pearl, where we're pretty shucking good.
Lock of the Week Friday presented by Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This season, get premium tech that inspires joy from Dell Technologies. Bring projects to life with the XPS 16. It delivers supercharged processing for enhanced productivity and freedom to express yourself. Performance-class Dell PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors deliver a dedicated engine to help accelerate AI. Enjoy free shipping, Dell rewards, and expert support. When you get a Dell PC with AI, it gives back. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies. First aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency
How
lights.
much time we got here?
Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly.
Okay.
And get ready for the workday.
The Grove Recovery Center asks you to call to let their family help yours. And know this, each of the members of the Grove's admission team are not only in recovery, they've also made that same phone call. So please know that when you reach out to them, there will be no judgment or ridicule, rather sympathy and understanding. After less than 10 minutes, a program of recovery destined for you begins. That phone call is the beginning of a new life. Let someone that's changed theirs help you change yours with the Grove Recovery Center, 310-2600.
Bow and waterfowl season is open, and Southern Outfitters is your one-stop shop. Fully stocked with decoys, full-service bow repair, and sales. Tree stands, hang-ons, and hunting apparel for the entire family. Visit Southern Outfitters in Zachary and at SouthernOutfittersLA.com.
Please consider making a donation locally through St. Vincent de Paul that truly helps people in need. If you have a boat, car, motorcycle, RV, clothing, housewares, or furniture you no longer use, please consider donating it to St. Vincent de Paul. This donation could get you a tax deduction. Visit svvpbr.org.
This truck season, think about all the things you can do in a Chevy truck. You'll be able to, or you can even just, with impressive towing, incredible bed and tailgate functionality, and multiple powertrains, Chevy trucks have what you need to get things done. When you want to do it all, Chevy's got you. See your Super Chevy dealers today.
Total Maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies since 1980. Service today, every day. Nobody likes to go to sleep hot. With a full staff in both Baton Rouge and New Orleans, Total Maintenance is an authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, and Generac and Cummings generators. In Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Total Maintenance, your authorized AC dealer.
Attention Baton Rouge residents, your firefighters need your support on the November 5th election ballot. Our proposition is just for firefighters and is last on your ballot, titled City of Baton Rouge 6 Mills. Firefighters stand ready to serve you every time you call 911, whether it be medical emergencies, structure fires, or vehicle collisions. Please vote yes for your firefighters, titled City of Baton Rouge 6 Mills, paid for by the Baton Rouge Professional Firefighters Association.
Do you love golf but struggle to find the time to play? Schneider's Golf Mechanics on Bluebonnet has 2 state-of-the-art simulators where you can play 18 holes in an hour, anytime, rain or shine. Schneider's Golf Mechanics. Fix your clubs, fix your game. SchneidersGolfMechanics.com.
Hi, this is Jake and James of Trash Rangers of Louisiana. Have a question, a problem, call us. We answer the phone. 225-363-9053.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
It's Lock of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris of Edward Jones Investments. Now, back to Live at Lunch from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Yeah, Jimmy, I think we both vote for him. I don't know how many votes he would get, but since we were talking about Diego Pavia, I give you the raw numbers. His total yards is only 9th in the SEC, but that doesn't tell a story. 5th in touchdown passes, and he's only thrown 1 interception, which is the lowest in the league. So his quarterback rating is 3rd in the league, and he leads the SEC quarterbacks in rushing by well over 100.
More than Milroe.
More than Milroe, more than Taylor Green. In fact, he's got, for the season, 470 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns, and Jalen Milroe has 330 yards. Now, Milroe's got a bunch of touchdowns. He's got 11 touchdowns rushing, but Pavia's outrushed him by He's only got 3, but he's out rushing by 140 yards.
That's kind of a wash with that big of a touchdown discrepancy.
Yeah. And then the passing, he's the 3rd rated quarterback in the league. In fact, he and Milroe's passer rating is identical. I mean, it's within 100th of a point. So
and Pavia's got a guy like Williams, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 or 3 of those. Two or three of those guys.
Yeah.
The point being, the raw numbers, people will probably vote for somebody else, but Pavia's.
Why? The people that cover the league? Why? They respect what Vanderbilt's doing this year.
I hope so. I hope so.
I mean, come on.
I hope so. I don't know if the voting were today, I don't think he would win. I'd vote for him, but I don't think he would win. It's not high profile enough. Why?
Charlie, these people cover the league.
I know. You see
That was high profile. They cover the league. They cover him.
They cover college football. Why is Michigan rated as high as they are?
No. This is the league. That's national. That's different. That is different.
We'll circle back.
Yeah.
Bunch. Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, big cheesy Lou, and those Louis original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
This season, get premium tech that inspires joy from Dell Technologies. Bring projects to life with the XPS 16. It delivers supercharged processing for enhanced productivity and freedom to express yourself. Performance-class Dell PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors deliver a dedicated engine to help accelerate AI. Enjoy free shipping, Dell rewards, and expert support. When you get a Dell PC with AI, it gives back. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies. First aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights. Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Get Moss Max and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, 4 cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
This season, get premium tech that inspires joy from Dell Technologies. Bring projects to life with the XPS 16. It delivers supercharged processing for enhanced productivity and freedom to express yourself. Performance-class Dell PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors deliver a dedicated engine to help accelerate AI. Enjoy free shipping, Dell rewards, and expert support. When you get a Dell PC with AI, it gives back. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies. First aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights. Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
People ask me all the time, where's a good place to go eat? My lock that never misses? Louisiana Lanyap. I've never had anybody disappointed. The snapper and papillote and the cocodrie are staples. Some of my favorites start off with the marinated crab claws or the oysters lanyap. For an entree, seafood stuffed bell peppers. Got a little kick to them now, so watch out. And blueberry bread pudding for dessert. Nobody has collected more 225 Best of Awards than Louisiana Lanyap. 9990 Perkins Road near Bluebonnet, where you always get a little something extra.
Dynamo Dogs, Swifty Swine Racing Pigs, and Washboard Willie every day at the Greater Baton Rouge State
Bruce is on.
Line Highway. Saturday, it's the Lego Extravaganza at 2. TPRSF.com.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. It's Lock of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris of Edward Jones Investments. Now, back to Live at Lunch from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here at Ruffino's Lock of the Week Friday, Tex Morris, Edward Jones Investments, and Bruce Marshall joins us as he does every week. Brucey, are you there?
Hey, Kyle McCord. Kyle McCord just threw another interception.
He had a rough night last night. There is no doubt. Bruce, let's start with that. Bruce, do you still think that Will Howard in year one is a better option than McCord in year two would have been there at Ohio State?
After last night, yes.
Yeah.
That was probably Ryan Day laughing in the background. Up till last night, and maybe that's a little unfair because I thought McCord was en route, and he still passed for 300 yards last night. I mean, that's empty because of all the picks, but I mean, he's en route to passing for 4,000 yards and almost 40 TDs. That's pretty heavy. But to have a meltdown like that last night, now one or two of those were sort of fluky tip passes, but I also saw him throw some other ones dead into coverage that could have got picked off. He could have had 3 or 4 more interceptions easy last night. So, maybe Howard for one game, maybe Howard's the guy you'd rather have. So maybe Ryan Day was right, but that was a tough one last night for McCord.
7.5 was their win total, so they're at 6-2 right now. So still a very good season for Syracuse. Charlie, bring Bruce onto the conversation. We've been talking about.
So we were talking about if you had to vote today for all SEC quarterback, who would you vote for? And we're making the case for Diego Pavia, and he is at this point the third-rated passer in the league, but his yardage total is not high for passing. He's 9th there, but he's the leading rusher among quarterbacks in the league. That's even more than Milroe, although Milroe's got a bunch of touchdowns. So Jimmy and I both are talking about who we would vote for, but who we think the media will vote for. So we'll ask you both questions. If it was today, who would you vote for, and who do you think the media would vote for?
I would vote for Pavia, and by the way, I'm in Murfreesboro, Tennessee at this moment. By the way, so
Nashville,
I'm in Vandy territory.
Yeah.
Outside of Nashville, so I'm down in Middle Tennessee country right now. Actually, I would vote for Pavia, and I think he deserves some Heisman votes. And I know that's a real long shot, but I mean, I don't think anybody's made that much of a difference to a team. And what the leadership, it's like Pavia doesn't know Vanderbilt's supposed to lose. I mean, what he has done, the transformation that he has helped create there has been incredible. Who do I think the media would vote for? Probably Carson Beck, especially after the game last week. They won the game at Texas. I think they might go for him. That'd be wrong. I'd vote for Pavia, and he'd be my guy, and that's who I'd vote for right now.
Beck. Wow.
If I couldn't vote for Pavia, I would probably vote for Nussmeier. And I understand why you think that they would vote for Beck, and I think you're probably right, Bruce. If I had to vote right now, if I had to vote them 1, 2, 3, I'd probably vote Pavia first, Nussmeier second, and third would be a toss-up. Maybe Jackson Dart because his numbers are better than the other ones, raw numbers. But that would probably be my order right now if I had to vote.
Beck is the quarterback of the team, and they appear to be the best team in the league right now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I get that, but he was horrible against Texas.
He's leading the league in interceptions.
Horrible. He was 4.3 yards an attempt, 3 interceptions, no touchdowns. That is horrible.
Remember the year we had 4 different all-conference quarterbacks, coaches, and writers teams? Has there ever been a quarterback lead the league in interceptions that was the all-SEC guy?
Charlie, you think the Alabama, there's more people that cover Alabama that have a vote, but you think they're real? You think Alabama's a flavor of the month right now? And I'm talking about these things count as that too, right?
Right now.
Texas, do they have that many people covering the league? They don't. I mean, and especially the way they got trounced the first real test they had. I don't know how much Texas love. Ewers is out. I mean, you think Ewers is going to beat out Pavia?
No, not Ewers, not right now. Because
Well, you
Ewers
said
is
Texas.
just
You said
missed
Texas
game.
and Alabama
At the end of the season.
Oh
maybe,
no! Okay,
potentially.
well, no, we
But
right now. No, we got a lot of football to play.
Right.
But I mean,
no, I
this,
think Bruce has got it right. I think they probably would vote for
I
Carson
mean,
Becker,
this
Jalen
guy has lifted this Vanderbilt team, and listen, they're beating these teams. It's not really flukish. I mean, they're winning, and it's not. I mean, yeah, they got the one tip ball against Alabama for the pick six. They got their, but they outrushed him by how much? I mean,
he's outrushed him by 140 yards. They would also point to the fact that Vanderbilt has lost to Georgia State. If we're going to be fair about this,
man, let me tell you, but you watch that Georgia State winning touchdown. I don't care if Carson Beck threw that to a Georgia guy, they'd be still showing it. There has not been a better throw and catch the whole season. And Nussmeyer's to Anderson to tie was damn good. Okay, damn good. This was down the sidelines. They needed only a field goal, and I mean, this was on the back shoulder in a tight window. It was unreal. So low percentage, just throw and catch by Georgia State, but it was Georgia State, so it's just terrible by Vanderbilt. This was unreal down the left sideline, but about 35-yard touchdown with less than a minute to go in a spot where most teams are. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me tell you what I thought about that catch. When I saw that, now it was on the opposite end of the field.
Oh, you went to the game?
No, I watched a replay of that, the Georgia State touchdown against Vanderbilt. That was the best catch I saw since Al Dodd made the catch from Bill Kilmer before Tom Dempsey's field goal. Go back and watch that and look how he managed to stay in bounds catching that.
I have never seen that play.
I don't know how they made that. Really, you can find a CBS call on that and watch Dodd's catch right before Tom Dempsey.
I've seen the Dempsey field goal a million times. Never seen that play.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Cal kickoff return. The drive was really another Elway drive to set him up for the go-ahead field goal.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, last minute made some really good plays along the way. All right, Texas A&M and LSU. The winner is in a great spot to make it to the SEC championship game. Charlotte, we're talking about 3 or 4 teams that get from the SEC getting in there. I think it's just. I don't know how you can penalize the loser of the SEC championship game. It's going to be very, very tough. But both of these teams do have a non-conference loss, so we got to remind ourselves of that. But still, that's going to be tough to keep the second place team out of the field of 12.
I think you're right, and I hope you're right. I heard Greg McElroy say on one of those panels this week. He says if you get to the SEC championship game, you are guaranteed a spot in the playoff, and the whole panel nodded along with him. So, it's the first time I've heard it addressed nationally about what happens to the loser of that game. I hope he's right. I think he's right.
But keep in mind, with 16 teams, you have a non-conference loss. There are weighted schedules. One team can have a much more difficult path getting that did make it to the SEC championship game. But it's going to take a lot. It's down to 1. Bruce, I mean, A&M was at 3, 2.5, back to toddling between 2.5 and 3. Now it's at 1. Who you got?
Yeah, and I agree with you guys in McElroy. They'll take the SEC runner-up, and the question is how we go 3-4 in the SEC, 3 yes, 4 maybe. Nobody's undefeated in the SEC yet. Right now, as of October 19th, last Saturday. That's the first time I remember that in a long time. This is how competitive this league is. You're right, they're betting LSU some. And I will qualify what I'm saying a few minutes ago with Beck. Beck did have those couple of 400-plus games. They threw some picks against Bama. It's just the media will do that. They beat Texas. I know he didn't have a great game, but, I mean, we know the media, the way they react. Nussmeier right now, I might rather have him than almost any quarterback in the country at this moment. I think the confidence he got from that Ole Miss game. You talk about putting some passes on the money. We talked about this last week. That touchdown to Anderson, that 4th down pass, that was ice in his veins to put that ball where he did and to lead them down. And then that touchdown in overtime was great. Last week, very, very good. The Arkansas game. He's hot right now. You can sense his confidence growing. Now, I got to say, though, Elko – I'd be really wary of Elko. Should start getting some Coach of the Year mention here. The thing with Weigman, is it going to be the good Connor Weigman or the bad Connor Weigman this week. I mean, he has been a little bit erratic. This is the time of year LSU starts, like we said, they start to hit the accelerator for Brian Kelly. I think LSU is going to win this game. It's going to be a good one, 31-27. I can understand the line moving LSU's direction because I think they're hot right now, and I think they'll be alone on top of the SEC effort Saturday.
All right, Bruce. Notre Dame and Navy. This thing is now up to 14. MetLife Stadium in the Meadowlands. Again, Navy undefeated, catching 14 against Notre Dame, but Navy has not played a tough schedule to this point.
No, they haven't. The Memphis game, though, was pretty good. I mean, what they did to Memphis. And I'm a little wary of, downgrading Notre Dame. I should downgrading, but I mean, I liked Georgia Tech last week. And, once that game got going, Notre Dame really took charge. I know the backup was in there for Georgia Tech. But Marcus Freeman has got a very good point spread mark the past couple of years, too. The defense is fine. I mean, Al Golden, who I think is rehabilitating his case to be a head coach somewhere if he wants, has done a great job with that defense. And Leonard is still, a little bit in and out, but I mean, I think it's competent leadership there for Notre Dame. I don't want to underestimate Notre Dame too much, but I just like this Navy story. They're doing something different this year, adding in the wing tee. Horvath has been so darn good. I mean, they've been dismantling people. This is such a different Navy than that team last year that lost in Dublin 42-3. I just like the momentum Navy's got here and the storyline. Maybe I'm just a sucker for that, but I'm not making this a feature pick, but I am going to lean to Navy to at least keep it interesting up there at MetLife.
All right, well, give us a couple of your feature picks. Who are we looking at?
Let's look in the ACC here. How about this one out off the wall? Wake Forest is out at Stanford tomorrow. This is not a great Wake Forest team, but they have won a couple games in recent. They have won at UConn. They did win at NC State. Yes, that's Hank Bachmeier in his 18th year as a college quarterback. He is there at Wake Forest, so there's some competent leadership there. I don't think he's ever quite hit the crescendo. Even he started hot at Boise and he kind of got worse since in La Tech last year and all. But it's something there. You look at Wake, it's not a great team, but Clawson has won before. They could win their next game and get bowl eligible. And that'd be a feather in the cap for Wake. Stanford is really, really falling apart here. Look at their scores the last 4 weeks. They haven't been closer than 24 points. They've been in kind of tough, but they're not doing anything. And Troy Taylor switched quarterbacks. He's gone to the freshman, Elijah Brown. Struggled last week against SMU. They could not protect him last week. This is just basically to win a game. I will take Wake Forest there. Also, in the ACC, other end of the country, I will take Virginia tomorrow again. Now, that might have been the point spread game of the year last week against Clemson because Dabo was trying. I mean, he was up. Clemson got hot, and then Virginia got back inside the number, and under 2 minutes to go, Clemson's up 16, and Dabo's got Klubnik in there throwing for a touchdown, long touchdown. And just by a miracle, Musket comes in for Virginia, and they hit a long TD in the last minute to cover. That's an accomplishment to cover against Clemson right now. But this is also a vote against North Carolina. I can't listen. We talked about this before. Mac Brown. This was not supposed to be something going beyond 5 seasons there for him. I don't think he's in his 6th. They're just sort of waiting. They want Mac to be gone. This has gone bad. 4 straight losses. His buyout is not that bad. It's under $3 million. I don't think they'd like an amicable departure there, but I think the handwriting is on the wall. This just is not working for Mac Brown there this year, and Collins, the defensive coordinator, has been a mess. So I will take Virginia, short price in that one. One other one, good one here, Cincinnati, Colorado. Deion deserves a credit this year. I think Feinbaum's a little carried away saying he should be coach of the year. There's a bunch of candidates for that, including in the Big 12, Sataki at BYU, Campbell at Iowa State, and I maintain Scott Satterfield's doing just as good a job at Cincinnati. Sorsby's come in from Indiana, the quarterback. He didn't have bad stats with Indiana last year. He's been a pretty competent leader for Cincinnati. They are very balanced. They're about 50-50 run pass. The defense has been fine. They are just a couple of plays from being 6-0 themselves right now. So I kind of like Cincy there, and maybe under. Look at Cincy's last couple of games against Gus Malzahn, 19-13. ASU last week, 24-14. I know Sims is a quarterback for Arizona State, but still they're slowing the games down because they can run. Their defense is good. They got this total up there, high 50s, 57 and a half. That's too high, boys. I think I'd look under in that one as well. That's a good game late tomorrow night in one of the nightcaps on TV.
All right, Bruce, and in the group of 5 or lower conferences, an obscure pick or two.
Let's go tonight. This is actually a pretty good game. UNLV and Boise in Vegas. There's some implications here. Genty, of course, Heisman, and then playoff perhaps, and they'll probably have to play again in the Mountain West title game. They could. Total's too low, 63. Both these teams have been going over pretty consistently. Boise didn't at Hawaii a couple weeks ago, but that's their only game in the last 9 they haven't gone over. UNLV's been a pretty consistent over, although it just missed last week. A lot of offense on the field. I would think it's going over tonight. One more tomorrow. How about Temple? I saw them in person last week, and they didn't look all that bad. They've got their quarterback, Evan Simon, back. He's a dart thrower, very accurate thrower. They're going down to East Carolina, which just fired Mike Houston this week. I think they made that decision after the Charlotte game a couple weeks ago, and then they just pulled the plug after Army. But they're going really bad right now at East Carolina. You're getting over a touchdown, 7.5 I've seen this morning with the Temple. So I'll take the Owls tomorrow.
All right, Charlie. The Alabama-Missouri line's going from 13.5 to 17.5. What's that tell you?
Cook not playing.
Yes, very good, very good. So that's we don't have to get an injury report on that one. So, and this just in, Paul Feinbaum doesn't bet on football games. I could promise you that, or anything if he's pumping Deion Sanders to be coach of the year. I mean, but the one thing that he's done though, it is, what do we criticize Deion for? Okay. All right, you got skill guys, you got a quarterback, but man, you got to get some linemen, get some protection, get some defensive. They are more of a complete team, huh? That surprises me. How much improved they are on offense, and kind of just playing these, instead of playing like the 50 to 40 games, they're playing 28 to 21 type of games,
And Cincinnati is 88th in the country in pass defense. Colorado's a top 10 pass offense in the country. That's a cause for concern for them. I also think it's a little bit of a tough spot for Cincinnati.
Brucey's got Cincinnati though, and the under.
You get the under. I thought he gave us
Cincinnati and the
Cincinnati
under.
also. Okay.
Cincinnati, yes.
All right.
That's all right. That's all right. Some of us are paying attention to class, Professor Marshall. Tell them where you're going. You're going from Philadelphia. I mean, these two places. I mean, they're what and what not. I mean, as far as college football environments, huh? I mean, Tulsa at Temple, and then Kentucky at the Grove. He's going from Philadelphia to the Grove, huh?
I know. Well, I started this in L.A. 2 weeks ago, Penn State SC, and then Philadelphia last week. So now I actually went down to Florida to see my granddaughter. I'm up here. I'm actually in Murfreesboro. We're driving to Oxford, and I'm seeing Oklahoma tomorrow against Ole Miss. So
Oklahoma. I want to say Kentucky. I mean, my bad. Yes, the one team's called
the Kentucky line.
One team's called the Runts. They are 3 touchdown favorites over one of the top 5, Brucey. All time blue blood program. I mean, success on the field, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Huh? Who's number 1?
Yeah.
Maybe number 1.
Yeah.
Oh, if you tell
they're right there.
I mean, they're there.
By the way, their fans are still coming. You should see what they've done to the hotel prices around Oxford. I mean, they're going up, even though and they're paying top dollar to stay there.
I will promise you this. There will be better looking women in Oxford than there was in Philadelphia. I can promise you that at the Temple game. Yes.
Hey.
I'm just saying, Brucey. You can call. I know you're spoiled. You grew up in Southern California. I understand, but no question.
Are they not a bigger favorite over Oklahoma than they were against Kentucky? Weren't they a 17-point?
Yeah, it was 16.
Yeah. It's 2021 here.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, what are we doing? What are we waiting for? Give Venables an extension and a raise. Oh, they already did that in the summer. Brucey, enjoy your stay. Tell my man Brett. We said how you doing, and how about them Tigers, huh? He can't be happy.
They're gonna take that one to the grave.
Archie who? So we started to rain on their parade.
Hotty toddy. And we're ready for tomorrow.
Howdy, Toddy. Got some money. When's Ole Miss going to beat somebody? All right. Thank you, Bruce. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay.
All right. Don't forget our friends at Workbox Services. My buddy Martin Padial, doing a great job over there. Movable storage needs, commercial and or residential. The shipping containers, a lot of them will come in one uniform size, not at Workbox. We've got 8 by 8, 8 by 10, 8 by 20 feet, 8 by 40 feet, whatever size you need. And then we can also we can customize them to your needs and to your liking. So we make a lunch room. We can make work sites for welders and plumbers, custom safety storage near the plant. We deliver to most of the plants around town or the industrial areas. Customize. You can do dual purpose facility, dual purpose trailers, part office, part storage for your storage containers, climate control, different shelving, lighting, wooden materials or metal materials. Customize it exactly to your needs or preferences at Workbox. Give them a call, Workbox 343-4886 and WorkboxLLC.com.
Lock of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments from Ruffino's on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games. Just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
Ducks Unlimited invites you to their Gun Bash Wednesday, October 30th at Bowie Outfitters on Perkins. Tickets start at just $20 and include food, drinks, live and silent auctions, a 25-gun super raffle, and more. Raffle packages include tickets for the bonus prize of a Browning Maxus 2 Ultimate 12-gauge. The Ducks Unlimited Gun Bash, October 30th at Bowie Outfitters at 5 p.m. Get your tickets online at dutigers.com. Brought to you by Bowie Outfitters, Brent Boxell, attorney at law, and Cater & Cajun.
Well, why don't you just come right out and say it?
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the Jim's Firearms.net hotline at 499-1045.
Say what?
Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the Jim's Firearms.net hotline. Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message.
Your 5-pack right here, Handy.
.com.
Electric Man of Baton Rouge is here to help with 20.
Somebody there?
What you got?
Oh, your 5-pack right here?
Yeah, mine.
Okay.
Fast and dedicated electrical services without compromising safety, quality, and integrity. Licensed and insured professionals to do the job for you worry-free. Electric Man offers guaranteed appointment times and free estimates, offering veteran and senior discounts also. Find Electric Man at electricmanbatonrouge.com to schedule your guaranteed appointment time. electricmanbatonrouge.com, 225-800-7065.
Did you know most homes don't have adequate insulation? This means higher electricity bills. Capital City Comfort can come and inspect your home for any spots that need extra insulation. Get ready for Louisiana weather with Capital City Comfort. Online at capitalcitycomfort-br.com.
Hurricane season is here. And when the power goes out, will you be ready? Don't let darkness and inconvenience ruin your family's safety and comfort. With a Honda generator from Bozeman Distributors, you'll have peace of mind knowing you can weather any storm. Honda generators are designed to keep your lights on, appliances running, and your family protected. Don't wait for the next storm to hit. Contact Bozeman Distributors at 225-295-1092 or visit BozemanDistributors.com to learn more about Honda generators. Bozeman Distributors, power when you need it.
Do you feel like you get hurt at the most inconvenient times? Brock's After Hours Clinic has you covered for a break, sprain, or strain. Open 7 days a week, nights and weekends. Walk-ins welcome. Learn more, brortho.com.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank. Member FDIC.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
Hi, this is Jake and James of Trash Rangers of Louisiana. Tired of getting political text messages? At Trash Rangers, we only text you to remind you to put out your trash. Go to trashrangers.com.
Glow Resources, complete employer solutions. GlowResources.com.
Charles Hannegriff's 5-pack of picks. Brought to you by Supreme Rice. Make sure you use Louisiana rice, grown by Louisiana farmers since 1936. Available at most local grocery stores. Supreme Rice.
2-2-1 last week. I don't know whether to be mad, happy, or indifferent with the Auburn game. I love the pick. A lot of people got it 3.5. A few people got it at 4.5. We got it at 4, so call it a push.
I wish I had 4.
Yeah. I guess maybe happy to get out of there, but just so aggravated with how that game
I was happy to get out of there with live wagering down at the Beau Rivage. That's for sure.
22-17-1 for the season. Let's see if we can do a little bit better than 2-2-1 this week. We're going to start with Navy. Well, the great thing about Navy, taking Navy or Army, all the things we talk about situational handicapping, this is a letdown game. Is this a trap game? Are they looking at? We never have to worry about any of that with the service academies. How many games has Navy won? All of them. How many games have they covered? All of them. I'm not counting Buck now. How many games have they gone over? All of them. So they score touchdowns. Been in the red zone 23 times this year. They've scored touchdowns 22 times out of 23. That's pretty good. 4th best rushing team in the nation. And Blake Horvath leads the nation in yards per attempt at 12.3. It's pretty good numbers to have. Notre Dame's fine. They had their hiccup, but I think all the pressure's on them. It's almost like if Notre Dame wins this game, oh, yeah, well, you're supposed to. But if they lose, we were trying to come up with scenarios where a 10-2 Notre Dame team doesn't make the playoff. This might be it. You lose to Northern Illinois, and then you lose another game where you're a 2-touchdown favorite. This might just do it. I'm taking the middies and the points, catching 14 with Navy. I don't think I've given you a total all year, maybe one. I'm going to give you another one here with Tulane in North Texas. Over 69. This continues to climb. It was 67.5 yesterday. North Texas has scored under 35 points once all year. That was at Texas Tech when they scored 21. That game ended up 66-21. Last 4 games, they're averaging 45, but giving up 31. And that was to teams like Wyoming and Tulsa, who are second and third to last in their leagues in scoring. So they're giving up a bunch of points to bad offenses. Tulane's not a bad offense. They can go. They've scored 41 in all of their non-Power 4 games, except last week. When they Jimmy explained this game to me, I didn't see any of it. I don't even know if you did. They won the turnover battle with Rice 5-0 and won the game 24-10. I got nothing on that one. I don't know how you do that. You would think if Tulane won the turnover battle against Rice 5-0, they would have won the game by 4 or 5 scores. I don't know what happened there.
I was once about halftime. I kind of steered my attention that way, and they were in a battle.
Yeah.
Now the better team took over, and they kind of won, going away a little bit. But no, it was one of my money line parlay, and it was very much a sweat just to win the game.
Yeah, I thought about taking North Texas. The over seems like the safer play here, though. I'm going to go with over the total of 69. Illinois plus 21.5 at Oregon. Illinois is solid. The one game they lost was at Penn State, 21-7. Altmaier's fine. They fight you. They look like a Brett Bielema team. They're sound. They're physical. They're hard. They've won games only scoring 21. They've won games giving up 49. Oregon's good. I think this is just too many points. Michigan State stayed within 21. So did UCLA. So did Idaho. So did Boise State. Oregon probably wins this game, something like 38-20, 38-17. Either way, I have points. I'm going to take the big number. Duke plus 11 at home against SMU. SMU has been gangbusters since the quarterback switch. They've covered all 4 games by double digits, and that's why I think this spread is inflated. I actually came looking at this game looking for SMU. I found Duke. 3rd straight road game for SMU with a bye thrown in there. They have to go coast to coast the last 2 weeks, and they got Pitt next week in what all of a sudden looks like an elimination game in the ACC. Duke has been unimpressive in all of their power conference wins, and they lost to Georgia Tech. But this many points at home, I'm going to take Duke for the spot plus 11 against SMU. And we're going to take Colorado minus 6.5 against Cincinnati. Not the easiest spot for the Bearcats. Third road game in 4 with a trip down to UCF. Then it came home for what was a hard-fought game against Arizona State, playing with their backup quarterback, 11 o'clock in the morning game. Now they got to go out west to Colorado, where the Buffaloes have won 4 out of 5 and covered all 5 of those games. They trashed Arizona last week. Here's a number. Buffalo's second highest passing offense in the Big 12, 7th nationally. You think LSU's pass offense is good? Their number is identical to Colorado's. And Cincinnati's 11th in the Big 12 in pass defense, 88th in the nation. Travis Hunter appears to be healthy. Give me Colorado minus 6.5. Deion's got them playing really well last 5 weeks. It got off to a little bit of a slow start, but the last 5 weeks they've been salty, including the one game they lost against Kansas State, where they came from behind 2 scores in the fourth quarter to take the lead before K-State got them at the end. Buffalo's minus 6.5.
All right, like I said, Navy 7-0 straight up, 7-0 against the spread. Didn't realize that we're over every time. Yeah, that added game, if there was a secondary line, they covered that one as well. So Tulane in North Texas, second-year coach Morris, I was kind of critical of this hire. They were tired of winning ugly. They wanted to maybe lose more in an entertaining way. Turned into a bit of a flag football team. North Texas had rough last year, but they put up offensive numbers this year, averaging 41 points a game. They're giving up 38 points a game, so they're going to play their style. So that was going to be a track meet in that one. Altmaier only 1 interception this year. They had 9 turnover-worthy plays. It depends on who the new analytic advanced stat or just the traditional one, where the touchdown and interception ratio has been very good. There, Charlie, that's an interesting line. It's a little bit of a stinky line where 2 6-1 teams and a home team is catching double digits in a conference game. So
I don't mind telling you that Pitt winning last night kind of helps in the look-ahead spot here a little bit.
Oh, for SMU.
Yeah.
And in Colorado, again, more of a complete team. They were a flag football team much of the time last year and a little bit of this year, but not the case. So they're defending better. They're a little bit more balanced and getting a little bit better protection. Travis Hunter, who's been limited the last couple of weeks and limited, always going to play less than 150 snaps a game. So, but he has been nursing a sore injury. He's expected to increase his snaps this week. So he sat out most of the second half last week. So don't forget our friends at Legacy Title. Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title for all of you real estate closings. 296-0060, full-service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional service is what you get every time you call 296-0060. Great staff at Legacy Title. Ashley Donald, Marion Haynes, Adrian Gallardo, Michael Platt. Legacy Title, 296-0060.
Lock of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris and Edward Jones Investments from Ruffino's on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Quality Sod simply wants to supply you with the healthiest, weed and pest-free, easiest to install grass sod. Large or small quantities, we want to help you select the right grass for your project. Pickup or delivery, 225-610-4842 or QualitySod.com.
Yo, Jacob and T-Bob here. And look, we've been talking about the All-Star Toyota rentals for a while. We wanted to remind you about them.
First, if your car is in service with them, they have daily rental rates starting at $5 per hour for a minimum of 2 hours.
Second, you can try before you buy with an extended test drive.
Third, they have daily, weekly, and monthly rentals with flexible plans and competitive rates. You can rent a new Toyota for as little as $60 per day.
Check out their website at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com/rental. People you know, cars you trust, All-Star Toyota.
Hi, this is Gordy Rush, inviting you to elevate brand visibility and ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Introducing Guarantee Media Digital. Secure your free digital audit now at guaranteemedia.com.
Looking for some time away but don't want to go too far? The Cook Hotel at LSU is just what you've been searching for. Book your getaway today and enjoy a peaceful escape overlooking the University Lake in any of their luxurious guest rooms or suites. Their newly renovated bar is back open for service, and they're located near some of the best restaurants in town. Visit thecookhotel.com or call 225-383-2665 to book your stay today.
Majestic Metals is located in Sorrento with over 60 years experience in the pre-engineered metal building industry. Majestic Metals is the leading metal roofing manufacturer with high-quality products, superior customer service, and a fast turnaround. We offer both commercial and residential roofing, including a standing seam panel in a variety of colors with a 40-year paint warranty. A metal roof can add value to your home and is energy efficient. Call Majestic Metals at 225-675-3800 and talk to our knowledgeable sales staff for all your commercial and residential needs. Visit us on the web at majesticmetalsinc.com.
If you're a Baton Rouge area business struggling to find employees, Tiger Labor and Staffing, a family-owned and operated business, is here to help. Whether it's light industrial work, warehousing, manufacturing, or just a little help on the job site, Tiger Labor and Staffing provides timely, professional employees to help your business get the job done. Reed Brunson and his team will handle background checks, payroll, and workers' compensation insurance. When it comes to temp staffing in Baton Rouge, whether it's a day, a week, or full-time, Tiger Labor and Staffing has the eye of the tiger. Visit the website to learn more, tigerlabor.com.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crowntown Room at Dozy Place. The Crowntown Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Sparked by imagination, creativity is fueled by the arts. Shell's mission is to make communities where we do business better places to live. By supporting the arts up and down the river, Shell is helping creativity thrive. From the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival to the Arts Council.
I'm going to introduce Paul Stone's pick real quick. We're going to run that, and I'll do my picks. Okay.
Rhythm of Louisiana.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly.
Jimmy Ott's
5-pack of Colorado.
Jimmy Ott's 5-pack of picks, brought to you by Supreme Rice. Make sure you use Louisiana rice, grown by Louisiana farmers since 1936. Available at most local grocery stores. Supreme Rice.
All right, before we go to my picks, let's go to Paul Stone. Paul Stone Sports, here he is, one of his 5 picks that he put out this week, available at Sports Bettor's Paradise, where on the YouTube channel and also wherever you find your podcast. Here's Paul Stone talking about Mississippi State game.
You're listening to Sports Bettor's Paradise on the Bet Rivers Network.
Yeah, I mean, at 1-6, Jeff Levy's first season at Mississippi State certainly has been a disappointment. But as you mentioned as well, they have shown dramatic improvement in the last 3 games against those ranked opponents that you mentioned, the conference's upper echelon in Texas, Georgia, and Texas A&M this past weekend. First of all, against Texas and Austin a few weeks ago, Mississippi State only trailed the Longhorns by 8 points late in the third quarter. The Longhorns, who were favored by 5 touchdowns, pulled away late, pulled that one out 35-13. But Mississippi State gets the money. And then the following week, their following game after a bye, Mississippi State travels to Georgia, getting 33.5 points. They stayed within shouting distance pretty much throughout that game, ultimately fall to the Bulldogs 41-31. And then last week at home in Starkville against Texas A&M, Mississippi State gets within 7 points, 31-24 against visiting Texas A&M early in the fourth quarter. Can't get any closer. They ultimately lose that game 34-24, but they do get the money. And they also, even though it was marginal, they did outgame the Aggies 367-353. And it hadn't, shown itself yet in the win column, but you mentioned the Bulldogs' true freshman quarterback, Michael Van Buren, a big-time recruit, a one-time Oregon commit. Oregon doesn't just recruit anybody, so that tells you what he was thought of on the national recruiting scene. Actually, the 57th overall recruit in the 2024 ESPN 300. So this is a big-time guy with a strong arm. In his last 2 games against Georgia and Texas A&M, he's thrown for a total of 548 yards against 2 real good defenses there. You look at Arkansas, this is really a game that could, not only because of the caliber of opponent, because of the positioning of the opponent, could be a flat spot for the Razorbacks. Their last 3 games, they played ranked opponents, Texas A&M, Tennessee, and LSU. Now they travel to Starkville to play Mississippi State, and on deck they have Ole Miss and Texas. So this really shapes up as a difficult spot for the Razorbacks. Plus, Arkansas only 1-8-1 against the spread. Their last 10 is a road favorite. Taylon Green certainly playing with a bum knee. He's at something less than 100%. I don't think their top running back, Jaquindon Jackson's going to play. Give me the Bulldogs, Mississippi State plus 6.5 over Arkansas.
Nothing to show for it as far as wins, overall wins, but it's certainly more competitive, certainly cashing tickets as of late. Their trips to Austin, Athens, and then hosting Texas A&M the last 3 weeks, not even a sweat for Mississippi State covering those games. Let's get to my 5-pack this week. Went 3-2 last week, 21-19 for the season. Around rankings, they're not good for anything, minus you bringing up some stinky lines. There are stinky lines in this, and there is this one. So Central Florida started out 3-0. They lost their next 3, but my goodness, they gave Iowa State all they could handle. Now it's up to 2.5. Get it before it goes to 3. It's again, unranked team over a ranked team. A lot of times, here it is. It applies here. In BYU, they bum rushed Baylor in Waco, going up 21-0 in the first quarter, then held on to win there. So, but that home field advantage has been big for the Cougars this year. We're going to travel down to Orlando. Hopefully, we can have a little bit of a repeat after a big situation last year. An unranked team in Central Florida beat Oklahoma State the last year by a ton. Indiana goes from nice little cute story to legitimate respect. Boy, that confidence is unbelievable for Indiana right now. They lose their starting quarterback. Could not even tell by watching the game last week. Backup comes in, throws 7 for 8, high yards per attempt, over 10 yards an attempt, 2 TDs, and no interceptions as they rout Nebraska. 5-1 Nebraska last week. Think about Nebraska's their problems the last few years. It's 1-score games. That was not a 1-score game. Indiana go take care of Washington. Unbelievable atmosphere. I think they'll handle it just fine. This Signetti cat is something. Google me. I'll win. You want to talk about like a Dan Campbell going into a losing for organization like the Lions and needed to change their culture. Saban coming in here and saying, "Hey man, what is this deal? The catastrophe syndrome. It's sports. You're supposed to deal with adversity." And this guy is something else. So
he's right too.
He is right. He is a winner, man. It's just unreal. They are, man. They are shorter odds. They are more of a price to make the college football playoff than the undefeated teams playing in College Station this week. Barely. A&M and LSU both minus 110 at the Queen right now to make it to the playoff. Indiana is minus 120. Oklahoma State, you talk about those two games were identical on Friday and Saturday night. Oklahoma State and BYU, and then Central Florida at Iowa State. The underdog, the visiting team, probably should have won in both the cases. But Oklahoma State is still trying. Ollie Gordon is still running. And now they go on and are catching 7 at Waco. Baylor, they look great, man. There's no doubt last week. But, I mean, are we ready to give a coach that's on a hot seat? They're laying 7 points. Man, I'll take Oklahoma State plus the 7 here. They got their quarterback back as well against BYU. He was impressive and doing just enough. And the defense giving them just enough stops. I think it's a toss-up game. Who went straight up? Give me 7 points in the Pokes down in Waco. So how often do I lay 3 touchdowns? Not often. And you wonder about, because you would get in these spreads, do they call off the dogs? Do they let their foot off the pedal? Do they, or they're just a little disinterested going in? Where they're going to get off to a slow start? None of the above when it comes to Miami and Florida State. They don't worry about them coming in disinterested. Don't worry about them taking their foot off the gas when they get going. And how is Florida State going to keep up with the points? Miami should score at will in this one. And you throw in, they lost the last 2 years as well to Florida State. All of this being said, don't worry about all that. So I'm willing to lay the 21 in this one. Not crazy about the line going from 20 to 21 over the last couple of days, but I'll lay it here. Talking about rivalry games, we go to the Little Apple in Kansas State. Chris Kleiman's great. There's no doubt. Kansas is one of our picks last week. Now, they took a couple of turnovers early. They scored on their first 4 possessions, scored touchdowns on their first 4 possessions against Houston. This is a step up in class. I get that. It was 42-14, a breezer. But still, the point spread value is buried with this Kansas team because of their overall record. How many times, Charlie, in those 5 losses, they had the lead in the fourth quarter?
All of them.
It's 10. It's down to 9.5. But that's too many points. And they had some transition issues, losing their offensive coordinator. Daniel's numbers have not been as good, but they are getting better. And I think Kansas is going to give Kansas State all they can handle. Give me the 9.5 in that one. Central Florida -2.5. Indiana -5.5. Oklahoma State +7. Miami -21. And Kansas +9.5. Don't forget our friends at Total Maintenance. At Total Maintenance, Lucas Ragusa and his great staff. South Louisiana, one of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. They got New Orleans and Baton Rouge staffs, offices, but they don't cross over at all. Service today every day means same day service. That's right. You will never sleep hot with Total Maintenance. 24 hours, 7 emergency service. Factory authorized dealers for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem products. Generators, we're an authorized dealer for Generac and Cummings generators as well. So in the membership programs, these are smart. This will come in, they'll clean your unit, allowing your unit to run at its maximum efficiency, meaning lower monthly bills. So that's the immediate, but also extending the lifetime of your unit as well. And you want to try and it's not fun. You got other things you'd rather spend your money on than replacing your unit more frequently. That takes care of it as well. So we get you in the system and we'll alert you when it's time for your unit to be serviced on a yearly basis. You got more than a ton more to worry about than if it's time for your AC or heating check. Total Maintenance. Again, Total Maintenance in Baton Rouge, 480-1000, 480-1000.
Live at Ruffino's Log of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Big celebration going on this weekend at the Pierre Part store. 113 years of doing business down in Pierre Part, and they want to say thank you with a lot of activities going on starting at 11 a.m. tomorrow. First of all, lots of raffles, lots of demos from the participating sponsors, lots of food, 50-cent hot dogs, crawfish stew for only $5, free loaf of bread to the first 113 customers. Bring the kids out. They've got characters and face painting going on over there. You get into the raffle. They're giving away a big 5-gallon jambalaya pot. They're giving away gift baskets from Little Debbie, from Uncle Larry's, a wine tour for 2 at Landry's Vineyard up in Monroe. You're going to like this one, $100 gift card to Kunas Seafood. That's got to be good, right? Crescent Crown, Bluebell, just a Coca-Cola, ton of stuff that they're going to be giving away tomorrow in Pierre Part. So head on down and check them out. 113 years in business means they know how to do it right. So head on down with tons of specials and a big celebration at the Pierre Part store tomorrow for 113 years.
At Lofton, we're in the business of matching hard workers with some of the most sought-after employers.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
It's rolling.
All right. This is Charles Hannigrove. Join us for the Monday edition of Live at Lunch from Big Mike's in Denham Springs. We'll be on at normal time, 11 a.m. There is no Brian Kelly press conference on the off week. Big Mike's, 11 a.m. Monday for Live at Lunch on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The question is, when? Optimized Generator People are Louisiana's largest and best full-service Generac dealership with 4 locations covering all of South Louisiana from Lake Charles to Slidell. And they only do one thing: home standby Generac generators. Prepare now so you can stop worrying about not having emergency power when you need it. It's optimized. GeneratorPeople.com. GeneratorPeople.com.
We're bringing rodeo to all children with special needs and learning differences. Join in the 2nd annual Saddling Up Special Needs Rodeo, November 3rd, at the New Roads Multi-Use Facility starting at 1 p.m. We want these kids to experience all that goes along with the rodeo. There's even a lead line on a real horse with 4 events, along with hay rides, face painting, sensory stations, and a petting zoo. Whether the kids ride or participate from the ground, we want them there. Find us on Facebook or email saddlingupspecialneedsrodeo@gmail.com.
Are you ready for some football?
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Lofton Staffing Services, 924-0200 and lofton.jobs. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. The LSU Alumni Association and the Cook Hotel and Conference Center. For reservations, thecookhotel.com.
At Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, we are driven by our commitment to family and our strong leadership team. We are proud to announce that our CEO, Beth Barron, has been named Modern Tire Dealer's 2024 Tire Dealer of the Year. Beth's visionary leadership and dedication to our customers have made a lasting impact on our local community, and her passion for mentorship, innovation, and people-first values drives our success. Thank you to our loyal customers for trusting Shawbills to keep you rolling.
Do you love golf but struggle to find the time to play? Schneider's Golf Mechanics on Bluebonnet has 2 state-of-the-art simulators where you can play 18 holes in an hour, anytime, rain or shine. Schneider's Golf Mechanics. Fix your clubs, fix your game. SchneidersGolfMechanics.com.
Hi, this is Jake and James of Trash Rangers of Louisiana. If you switch your residential or commercial trash pickup to us, we promise to never sell your trash to the paparazzi. Seriously.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
It's Lock of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris of Edward Jones Investments. Now, back to Live at Lunch from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All right, don't forget Football Sunday is in town this week. We rotate each and every week between the Queen, Baton Rouge, the Queen Casino, the DraftKings Sportsbook here in town, and also the Beau Rivage down in Biloxi. All right, Max, 3-2 last week, 18-22 for the season. Let's get to it.
All right, going to start out with Wake Forest -3 at Stanford. Now, this is a little scary because it's one of these teams crossing multiple time zones. We've seen a little bit of a struggle for those teams, but a lot of them have been worse teams that have crossed the time zones. Wake Forest, Hank Bachmeier at offense has been pretty good for them. They can score a little bit, and I just don't think Stanford can keep up with them here. Stanford's played a very tough schedule. They're coming off of SMU, Notre Dame, Virginia Tech. But Wake Forest, I just trust them in this spot. They went to UConn last week and won. That was a good win for them. They beat NC State on the road. I think this is a similar type of matchup. I'll lay the 3 with the Demon Deacons.
Stanford has lost 4 in a row and has failed to cover in those 4 games as well.
Vanderbilt +18. I'm sorry. I'm Diego go. You know, he's an underdog. It's an automatic bet for me pretty much. It was like this with New Mexico State. It's been like this, 17.5-point dog to Missouri. They take that game to overtime. 23-point underdog against Alabama. They win outright. 13-point underdog at Kentucky. They win that game outright. They play very slow as well. So if they were to get down, it's hard for them to get down very much. And Texas, with all the benching of Quinn Ewers, I'm worried how that might affect the locker room a little bit. At least those quarterbacks might be feeling the pressure, Ewers especially. So I'll take the points with the Commodores +18. West Virginia +4.5 at Arizona. Arizona shouldn't be laying this many points to anybody. I don't care if they're at home. I don't care if this is another spot where you have a team crossing the whole country. But Arizona, they're just not the same. Noah Fafita has been terrible this year. And if you can shut down McMillan, they have no passing offense whatsoever, no offense really to speak of at all. Garrett Green, look, they've gotten blown out by Iowa State and Kansas State the last 2 weeks, but they still have some life. They beat Oklahoma State. They beat Kansas this year. Arizona's offense, they shouldn't be laying this many points. So I'll gladly take 4.5 with the Mountaineers.
Fafita more interceptions and touchdowns this season.
Yeah, it's been ugly for him. Miami, Florida -21. I'll agree with you here on this one, Jimmy. Chris Felica, the Bear, put out a stat. There have been 3 times where there have been 20-plus favorites, 20-plus or more favorites in this game, in this series between Florida State and Miami. They've all won by 24 or more. When they have a chance to blow out one another, they do that. And just think, Cam Ward's in the Heisman conversation as well. So they're going to want to run up the score if they can. Florida State, dead man walking. They're going into a really tough spot here. I'll lay the 21 with the Hurricanes.
The Bear, been on the show, a friend of the show, time to time. Miami alum.
Yeah, that is true. That is fair. But he puts out all these bear bites each week. And finally, my lock of the week is tonight. Actually, I've been 2-0 on Friday night games, so I got to get something going. And I'm going to go with Boston College plus 7.5, hosting Louisville. This is a spot game. Louisville coming off of a very difficult defeat, hosting Miami last week. That place was rocking. They have a bit of a tough, scoop and score that was ruled off. Cam Ward apparently had his arm going forward. And next week, they go to Clemson. So this is the ultimate sandwich spot for Louisville. All they're trying to do here going up to Boston College is get a win. And they're laying 7.5. That's way too many points. BC, you're buying on a bit of a low. They've had a couple rough weeks after a really good start to the season. I'll go with Bill O'Brien and Boston College plus 7.5.
There are sandwich spots, and then there is this DiMartino's roast beef provolone light mayo and a sesame seed lightly toasted French bread. Between Clemson and
Miami,
between the two top teams in the ACC, that is a great sandwich spot tonight. All right, I'll be peeking the score while I'm doing a PA for senior night at EHS. So there you go. I'm on that one. So good stuff. And UNLV Boise, I like the over, and I like UNLV. It's going to be the rowdiest crowd, the best atmosphere for a UNLV game ever.
Somehow
open a terrace. West Monroe's coming.
It's okay, man. You got to do what you got to do.
Somehow the under's taking money from 64.5 to 63. I like the over as well.
Game day tomorrow at 1:30. Thanks to the folks at Ruffino. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer. It's A&M week on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Robinson Brothers.
All right, Jordan. Thank you.
You too.
F-150s, F-250s.